This one's the trusted betrayal. And so a lot of times, and this is kind of where my father-in-law got duped, and familiar faces, family, close acquaintances, caregivers, under the guise of this trust relationship, might expect you might not expect this attack to come from them. And what ends up happening is they start to kind of maneuver situations, and these situations then kind of get stacked to the scammer's advantage. But yeah, they're basically ripping off the family member. Anytime a person is asking for money, asking or in control of the finances of another person, there is the potential for this ill intent to take place. You have to scrutinize who's managing my money, hold them accountable for every dollar. You cannot just kind of set it and forget it. Now, of course, as they move farther down the road, maybe their mental capacities are diminishing and they don't have that capability. Having a lawyer or some other estate kind of planner, some other responsible party is a potential way to do that. Though these are hard, and that's why it hurts so much when it does happen to family members like this, because the person has moved into a state where they really can't review their bank statements. They don't, maybe comprehend this kind of stuff anymore, and this person has just exploited that and taken advantage of it and just ripped off this person, the inheritance or whatever. And so that's why this kind of the trusted betrayal scam is just so devastating to, like, it's absolute betrayal. So
Yeah. And I would even maybe throw this in there, and this is definitely more on the technical side of things, but like, you know, say your family member is kind of in that mental capacity state. I would probably argue that just like a small child needs limited access to technology for whatever reason, I, that that family member probably shouldn't have unhindered
yeah,
access
right.
to anything. You should probably be very maybe contact Sean. Figure out like what what kind of restrictions could we put. Just again, depending on where they're at, depending on, they could even be like, I'd love some like extra protection. Could you restrict this even more? I just don't know how to
Yeah.
do it. Like we were up in Michigan visiting a family member on my wife's side, and her grandma was like, "Hey, can you, like, I keep getting all these spam calls and different things." And so I did a couple things on her phone to kind of block
Nice.
things, and different things. So that way, like, it's less likely for the
To get,
scammers to get
yeah,
to her. And
love that.
so it's just yeah, just like little things like that would be helpful. So again, I feel like it's like having these conversations about how much they want to be
Yeah,
protected, but then as you see their decision making ability go
yeah.
down, maybe that's where it's kind of just like your toddler needs restricted
Yeah.
access, kind of move them towards
Another
that.
thing, and as you were talking, you made me think of this, and we talked about it in the last episode, is the more people involved. Like, this isn't, if there's a family member
Yeah.
that is just
Yeah.
refusing to bring the financial pieces to the light, there may be
Yeah.
something there that's just not,
Yeah.
like, why would this be such a big secret? Why isn't everybody involved? So have maybe an agreement with, like a board, right? A family board that deals with the finances, not just one
Right.
person that you're holding on to the precious to kind of help
Yeah.
walk through this, because then one person won't have necessarily the temptation to deceive and defraud and betray the other family members, especially
Yeah.
if everything is above board, everything is on paper. With all the collaboration tools that are out there, you're able to create show notes and share them with me collaboratively, right? Using tools
Right.
like Google Suite and Microsoft Teams and all of these types of things that are out there. And a lot of these things they're free. And so you can
Yeah.
put a budget together, or put a financial statements, bank statements, all this together in these shared locations, and share that with everybody in the family that needs to know, that's part of this
Yep.
board. And then they can use all of that to, everybody has eyes on, and knowing, and this goes back to the kind of the same thing we talked about previous episodes, is having that light shining on it, having that greater accountability,
Yeah.
having that visibility, and you're not doing this thing alone. It brings a little bit more freedom. It brings a little bit more integrity. That brings these things that the scammers don't want to have in the light. They want to do it in isolation. They want to do
Yeah.
it quick. They want to do it quiet, and they want to do it in the dark. And so that's
Yep.
not how normal people want to work. That's not how normal, honest
Right.
people want. They're upfront. They're let's get some other opinions on this, because if they're not the smartest person in the room, they're going to reach out and try to find some answers. They're going to listen to our podcast. They're going to share this podcast with other people and say, hey, this guy actually touched on all of these things, and here you are, you're
Yeah.
trying to do these. I think if you really want to be above board, let's bring all this stuff out in the open, and make everybody a part of
Right.
it. So